at this. This is what this curly thing that's like a fir or a pine leaf looks like. But these long things grow off of the branch. So I guess one of these is a leaf. But these were in the boiled book, and what I'm going to do is take a quick look around, pause it here and there, and try to get all of the flowers or plants in that I was talking about, because I realized that not everyone is familiar with those flowers. Now these flowers out here, oh, pardon the construction next door. It's only been going on for 2 years. These are wonderful flowers that come right after a rain or a lot of fog, and then on a sunny day the next day they pop open. I've actually seen them open up while I'm standing here. But these are the ones I put in. I thought perhaps I would get some color from this, because the purple and the yellow are actually, facing each other. Down there when they're inside the bloom, and those are complementary colors. Purple and yellow make brown. They're opposites on the color wheel, so I was just fascinated that they're opposite like that. And they're 3 plain petals and 3 colorful petals, and they're some kind of an orchid. You can tell by just the way the bottoms grow, but they just come out poof after a rain on a sunny day, and it's so wonderful when you open up the door and this is what you see. Aren't they lovely? But when I boiled them, I didn't get a lot of color from them. And then down here, this is the lemongrass that have been in the books right here. Lemongrass, and you see it has shamrock-like petals, and it just makes the most beautiful yellow in the books. It's a very wonderful little plant. And here are the roses. You look at all of this here. Of course I have pink flamingos. Here are the roses. I have 4 rose plants. And I have a volunteer over here together. Isn't that pretty? So here are the kind of petals that a rose has. So here's one that came up. This one died back, and I left some nice cat food out here next to it, and it recovered. So those are rose petals just coming up in the ground. I'm not getting a very good shot here, and I don't suppose you can hear me either. I'm talking softly because there are people next door. And we're talking so loud I have to talk over them. Okay, so there's my rose plant behind the, I forgot what these are called. They're the narcissus. Yes, let's get the narcissus, because we've been working with narcissism a lot lately. And there's the sour grass and rose. Look at how generous these are. How very, very generous. Yeah, so I don't have any roses. Here's a little rose blooming here. These are lovely, generous roses too. They just bloom and bloom and bloom. And they smell really good. See, let me pause for a minute here. And back over here, is St. Francis, who watches over my peaceable kingdom. My cats are kind to the squirrel even. They let him come and eat. Alright, so these are the hibiscus leaves, and the hibiscus flowers are quite generous with their pink, and I described this as being double hibiscus. So, you see here, is the stamen that's in the middle. It's actually kind of a part of the petals. Oh, I've lost it. I'm sorry. There's a bud right there. So, a lot of people say, no, those aren't hibiscus. Oh, yeah, they are. They're regular hibiscus. You see, they have that big old stamen in the middle, but they have 2 rows of petals. All I can see is my reflection here in the camera. All right. Just so you know, it's just my lovely yard. Look at what's next door. Okay, off to some more of the plants that I've been using. So right here are a bunch of the sour grass. So I even just pull the whole plant out. These here are century plants. They're wonderful. They're like a cactus, but they're not a cactus. They're more of a succulent. They're soft and nice. Beautiful colors. And they bloom once every 100 years. Maybe 79 years or whatever. But, you know, they bloom so seldom. They're called century plants. And my dandelions. I worked real hard to get topsoil out here in the back with sand and mix it up with mulch and put it out, and then in the last big rain my neighbor's flood came and washed all my topsoil away. So I just have a few dandelion plants out here. Now down in here I have a bunch of succulents. Look, they just grow on almost nothing. I love them so much. But I don't put these. These have a lot of water in them, and I wouldn't want to boil one. It'd be like boiling a carrot. Here's this great big sour grass plant. Huge, huge, huge. It's growing here in the shade in a pot. And this, by the way, just by the way, is an air plant. They grow on the minerals and all in the air. And I also have them attached to a metal thing here. So there's some iron and then, like, you know, the dirt in the air that blows around, and that's what they live on. They're pretty neat. I keep lowering my voice because there are people right here, when really that's very 20th century of me. I should be more 21st century and just talk louder and talk over them, because that's what people do. Just make more noise. Just get more guns. Okay. Here is a camellia. Now, I've called these gardenias, and you can see why. I just got them confused as a kid, and I still do. These are camellias. What they are is the tea plant. And I have had very good luck with these in those boiled books. They're just lovely. These leaves are too big to pick for tea, but these are almost too big. But what they do when they go in the plantations is they go around and they pick like the new ones, and they consistently do it. Okay. And then dry them. Okay, what else have I got out here? Oh, Bottlebrush. I haven't done any of this yet, but I'm going to try it out because it's so nice and bright. This is another plant that the hummingbirds really enjoy, and I have hummingbird feeders up here, but look at here's one getting ready to bloom. And they're really neat the way they bloom too. They radiate, everything radiates out. Like all of the branches radiate out in a really neat structure. Yes, this one up here I just cut back for that last book because there's a bunch of it up there. The red flowers, because my cats were catching hummingbirds, and I finally figured out it's because they were sitting here on the fence with this overgrowing it, and then the flowers are right there, and so bam, they just reach right out and whap, there goes the hummingbirds. They've never caught them before, they're up too high. Let's see, what else here went in there? I'm not going to say anything. These are amaryllis plants. They're a big trumpet-shaped flower on the end of this very long stalk. Here, a whole bunch of them. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 3, 6, 8, 9. Which is, I think last year I had maybe 4. So these are neat. Okay, what else? Down here is lantana. Might as well get some view while we're at it. This. And it makes little tiny speckly things where the flowers are. It doesn't give up a whole bunch of colors, just these little tiny miniature bouquets. This is all over Australia, apparently. There's a movie I saw called Lantana. Come on, it's not focused. And hummingbirds like this too. Here's some. Can't tell where I'm looking. Oh, I see. Yeah, they're all the way up there. All right, there they are. And then over here are some little unopened buds. There they are, I think. Anyway, so this is lantana. And all right, I'm gonna just stop there. I'm low on the battery. I think I got all the plants in that I was using. They're in the yard. Well, there's one thing that I described as being a part of a pine tree when I meant a palm tree, and it would be this palm tree right here. Once I figure out how to get the subtitles on, I'll just post it as is and correct it. I really can't see. Oh, I see. My camera lens is down a lot lower than I think it is. That's why. So anyway, I have a little tiny backyard, which is really nice. Most people come in and go, oh, now my red bottoms. I've got to cover all this dirt. Please carry me to the door. Yes, here's something more. This is so lovely. This is bark of a palm tree. And what's so wonderful about it is that you can see that people learned how to weave from this. And I think the Hawaiians pounded it, you know, to make it soft into a paper. But it actually has this cross weave to it. And see the layers? Why, this is much better than oriented strand board. I'm just being snarky. Another word for oriented strand board, because it's no longer strands and they're no longer oriented. They're supposed to be sort of like woven, but not woven. They go one way and then they go another way. It's a substitute for plywood. It's basically a chipboard now that's mostly resin. It's held together by resin. And my favorite name for it is waswood. Was wood once, but it ain't now. I had to talk real loud to get over that pound.